Today, we're going to be taking a look at a Fasco Heat Cycler. The Fasco Heat Cycler is Fasco's attempt at creating an industrial ceiling fan. As the fan pretty much looks like a cross between an industrial ceiling fan, what that looks like, and what a dropped flywheel Fasco looks like. What with having the typical Fasco motor and flywheel design, and then not having a switch housing or any pull chains. This one in particular is in white. The Heat Cycler came in two finishes, white and brown, and as far as I'm aware, white is the less common finish of the two. This particular model also has the first generation Charleston style bottom faceplate and the side fins on the blades that attach at the back part of the blade iron there. And each blade has one. The blades themselves are the white plastic wood grain, which are super heavy. And the down rod is a little bit long, but I've definitely seen longer down rods on other heat cyclers before. And I do have this fan hooked up to a variable speed wall control right there. As if I just had it going straight into the wall outlet, it would only run on high, as there's no other way to regulate speed. I got two of these fans, identical to each other, out of a church not too long ago. The lady who sold me the fans was renovating the church. It was in the middle of absolute nowhere, one of the most desolate areas I've ever traveled to pick up ceiling fans. And so the lady who sold me them, like I said, was renovating the church, and she was selling off, some of the old relics and fixtures that were in the church that she was taking out. The ceiling fans being included in that. And like a lot of other people think when they list old ceiling fans, she thought, okay, I'm going to list these, but I'm probably just going to ultimately end up having to throw them out. But of course, being Fasco Heat Cyclers, she got tons of messages about them, a couple of which asked her to ship them. And she told me about all this when I went to pick them up. And she said specifically about how when those select few who asked her to ship them, she found that really odd. So she asked her son, who was an adult, she was a slightly older lady, so her son was an adult, when she asked him about it, saying, like, who are these people who are like these ceiling fan enthusiasts who are asking me to ship these fans? Like, do you think this is real? And her son said, no way, that's gotta be a scam. Like, who would ever collect ceiling fans? Like, that's such a ridiculous sounding hobby. So, yeah, kind of funny. Anyways, now we'll start the fan off as slow as it can go on the solid state control. I did finick around with the trim pot a little bit beforehand to get a nice low speed. So in general, Fasco fans are really not all that common, but heat cyclers especially, you really don't see all that much. They're definitely not the least common Fasco model, but they are definitely on the farther end of the ones you don't see too terribly often. And since it is a solid state control, it is going to make the motor hum quite a bit. And full speed. And one other thing that makes the Heat Cyclers very desirable among collectors is that they are very, very powerful. I believe they have 1.4 amp motors, or at least this one does according to the tag on top. And I'm actually not sure about how steep the blade pitch is on these fans, but while they're not the fastest Fasco fan out there, they are definitely good air movers. And there you go. An antique white Fasco Heat Cycler.